It's showtime.
Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV and Beat the Press. Please stay tuned to find out these top stories with your host, Mick Ruby. Welcome to Beat the Press. Here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Bilal, good afternoon. How are you, sir? How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV. And we're also co-streaming on your channel, Bilal.
Correct. Yes, full-time Red. We are co-streaming and it's been a big 24 hours.
It's been big 14 months, 15 months?
15 months.
15 months. Yeah. It's like a long-term pregnancy. We just hatched.
It's been long. It's been long.
How are you feeling, by the way? You know, it's like a match reaction at the end of the day. Like, you know, you always need to sleep on it and you know, let everything soak in. I went live straight after this announcement and like, you know, so many emotions pouring out and you just come to a realization, wow, this is just huge, right? If you look at it from that perspective, that this is something that will actually make Manchester United go forward footballing wise, right?
Yeah, Mick, you know, firstly, thank you for having me on again. I really appreciate that, Mick. We've done some great work together over the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Amigo. I think, you know, my honest thoughts are, I don't know what people were expecting, because since Christmas, since it got announced that he was going to take a minority share, everything has only looked like it's going in one direction, which it has done. And especially, sorry, go on.
One Direction, like the band?
One Direction, like, yes.
Harry Styles is a Manchester United fan, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. But since Christmas Eve, especially, and when it got announced that they're going to go into a deal with him, and the way they've been moving, the way Ratcliffe and his team have been constantly being seen in around the ground, Munich Memorial games, it was just inevitable that this was going to go through. So a lot of people that were saying it won't go through, I was very doubtful that I couldn't see how it was going to stop, really. Reason being, he was giving Glazers $33 a share. The A shareholders were getting the same price for shares that are not worth nowhere near that. So how are you going to stop this? And eventually, yesterday it got ratified. Well, Friday, the tender offer expired. Monday, the US was closed.
The US holiday,
yeah. And yesterday it got confirmed, and now it's time to get behind him.
I think so. I mean, let the people go to work, and you know, as fans, we can still be critical. We have the right to be critical, as what I said in my reaction afterwards. At the end of the day, we've been in a abusive relationship for 18 years, and it is like, you know, just you're breaking up and you meet somebody new and you're suspicious because you have the right to be suspicious. But I think you mentioned that to me to say, like, you know, for 18 years we've been kind of opening the cupboards and nothing to eat. There's been nothing because they've been taking everything out, and now they're actually putting something back into the cupboard. So and that's kind of analogy that I like. But it's a double-edged sword as well, because, you know, majority of the fan base wants to see good football, wants to see Manchester United be on the top again. And there's the other part of that sword as well, to say, well, hang on a second, Glazers are still there. How can we forget what they have done to us? You know, pay back everything that you're taking out of the club. And they put us in the situation we are right now. So it is a little bit of a double-edged sword, and the way I'm feeling emotionally at the moment, right? I don't know how you feel, but personally, I'm drained. I'm really drained.
Mick, the thing is that what's happened has happened, right? The thing to look at this now is, realistically, what is the situation we are in? The situation is this: you've got a co-owner. I think in the first time in 35 years, somebody has put their own money in.
Yes, true.
Number one.
That's what
Number
I see
two
too.
is, no matter what happens now, the Glazers will never be in charge of footballing operations to start with, as a minimum, right? And number 3, there is a path to full ownership, which is stated in the documents, where a sale could take place in 18 months, which I'm sure we're going to come on to later on. And like the couple of shows me and you've done, we both said the same thing. The proof is in the pudding. So far, the moves that have been made, they have been able to make, you've seen the direction that they want to go in. And based on, if anybody has read Jim Ratcliffe's statement this morning, where he's saying we need the world-class management operation, the best people
100%.
in the best positions. So far, he's true to his word. So let's see how it plays out. He's done more in 12 weeks than the Glazers ever did. So
true.
And true. Let's see what direction it goes in.
It's interesting. Transitioning over to the next question. What happens next? I guess that's the question of everyone's lips. What's going to happen next? You can have your say, and I will also contra with my say as well. So what happens next?
I think what they'll do first thing is they're gonna make Dan Ashworth get that over the line.
Yes.
Then will come Wilcox. Will come second.
Yep.
And then they'll bring a third.
The head of recruitment.
Yeah, third, whatever you want to call it. I think what they've done very well is, and where you have to give them credit, is they've not come in and bought in, for example, Dan Ashworth first. They bought the CEO in first.
Yep.
Then they've took his feedback on that. Who should we get? Who could you work with? And they're working down the ladder.
Yep.
Once that's in,
organizational design, a simple way. Like, that's the way you do in priorities. It's like a funnel. You start with the new leader, with the CEO, and you work your way down, like in hires.
And I think what will happen after that is we will start to see what their thoughts are around the manager and moving forward and the play style. And then we'll start to, in my opinion, from what I've seen and how these guys want to operate, they're going to move quick in the transfer market. What I mean by quick is not just by signing players. Also, what I mean by that is by letting players know that there's no place for them anymore and it's time for them to move on, whether that's Rashford, Casemiro, whoever, Sancho, whoever. And what we will not get anymore is dragged out transfer windows where we start to sign somebody in July, and by the time we sign them, it's bloody August. I think these guys will move a lot quicker and a different profile of player as well.
It's very interesting because I'm writing an article. I've been writing a piece on this for the past 2 days now regarding this, and I will release it actually. What happens next, according to my opinion, it's going to be a clean house, but from the information that I've been receiving, not only with the players, but you see Dale Brailsworth, his job is to be, how do I say it, the smiling assassin, the sweeper.
Absolutely.
So he's come in and he had similar. You can just walk into a room and you can just scan the room and you can tell, what's this doing here? What is that for? What are you doing? What's your job description? Because it's something called organizational design, and it's also called you look at the overall compensation and benefits and job titles. You will look at overhauling of every director that sits there that's been appointed under Ed Woodward. That's the first thing they're going to do, right? That means there's nobody safe. John Murtaugh will be gone. Darren Fletcher will be gone. Potentially the COO, if you know who she is, right? So there's going to be a total new blood coming in. Get rid of the old toxic. And that makes sense, right? That makes sense. And then you build from there as well, because you're building a culture and mentality that goes all the way down to the dressing room, right? That's what you want to do, to foster a winning mentality.
I think
so. That's what.
Mick, one thing that's quite interesting is, especially for the younger people that are watching might not know this. This is the first time we're employing senior management position from outside of the club for maybe 18, 20 years.
Yep.
Even when Peter Kenyon left Manchester, David Gill came in. He was internal finance director. And when David Gill left, Ed Woodward came. We constantly appoint from within. And the benefit that you'll get with this is you'll get an outside view and a new way of thinking rather than somebody who's embedded into the organization or somebody that's emotionally too attached. Secondly, from a management point of view, what they've done is they're not like, so people are going on about Omar Barada saying XYZ about Manchester United 5-10 years ago. They always say in senior positions it's actually better to appoint somebody who's not a fan of the club because they are less attached to the club and they won't make emotional decisions. So it's a positive step. And look, I think I was saying this to you on WhatsApp last night. I think Ratcliffe will do a couple of interviews this week. I think there's a press conference start of next week or end of this week that he's got in.
It's going to be on the overlap, what I heard. The overlap Sky.
Overlap, he'll go on. Yeah, I'm sure he'll go on all the others. And you know, he will speak to the fans directly, which is a step in the right direction.
100%. Yeah. You got to win the fans over 100%. But, you know, echoing what you're saying, like, you know, it's been jobs for the boys, basically. The article that I'm writing right now is quite scary. Like, it is very scary when you're looking at the culture with inside and the way there was run. It was pretty much very not high ceilings, very hierarchical and very toxic, right? Don't question, just do what I tell you. And that's the thing, right? So of course it makes sense, because if you don't have any corporate culture embedded, you don't have loyal staff and everyone is confused. And in terms of turning the page, you totally need to clean house. And that's what I'm saying. The job of Brailsford is definitely to just go take the broom and sweep out the dust, basically, and have not even just the squad, but also the overall staff. You know, not everyone's going to be safe. You know, it's what I was saying. Like, you know, you can have one taking the money and one punching in the numbers in the till. Like, you know, that's what's going on at United at the moment.
Mick, the thing is, just from a numbers point of view, Liverpool, who are similar sized club to us, have 200 to 300 less employees than us.
Yes.
City have like 500 employees, but they share a lot of job roles across the City football group. So they're not directly working for City. And the thing is, what I was reading in The Athletic, I think it was, that they want to remove a lot of the bureaucracy and be able to make decisions a lot quicker.
Yes. Yes, but it's called optimization in certain ways, because it's reducing the bottleneck in terms of the chain of command of approvals.
Yes.
So, go on.
And the thing is, what they're trying to do is they're trying to streamline the process so things and decisions can be made quicker. They're trying to give people the power to make decisions. Before, it used to go to Joel or Abram, and they used to sign off transfers, and it used to take ages. And
and that's what I was trying to say and explain, because everything was micromanaged. Everything was going through Joel and Abram, so you couldn't make any decisions regarding transfer. You couldn't even order a paper cup of coffee or paper clips without having the approval going all the way up. Now this is what you're calling streamlined, making things like, you know, empower people, and that is getting rid of the old hierarchical toxic environment. And now a rebuild is a rebuild. Like, you know, you got to go through a cultural people and cultural change, and that's what's going to happen there as well. So it's important. It's important just to mention.
Absolutely. And I think what you've got to remember is Brailsford, which he's clearly stated he's not a football man, but what he's very good at is putting the right people in the right job and holding them accountable for what they are supposed to be doing. And secondly, what Brailsford, where he needs to be given credit is he's about to take Dan Ashworth, which we're going to come on to, from Newcastle United, which is owned by PIF. They've got their own big project going on. They're not short on cash, but he's managed to prize him away from Newcastle. You know, we would have ended up with bloody Rio Ferdinand as football director historically, or Patrice Evra, who was touted for the job a couple of years ago. So I think it's a very interesting move on the type of people they're employing, and what they're employing are people that are best in class.
That's it. And do you see the reaction from Newcastle and Newcastle fans and Newcastle seniors?
Yeah, they're not very
It's the moment. No, of course, I had Jack Talbot yesterday on, and he's a Newcastle supporter, but he's a
Yeah, what was
brilliant
he saying?
Of course, they are pissed off.
Yeah, I know Jack.
The fact that they want to have a ransom fees that tells you how much he's valued. That's the thing, right? There's a certain things of people you can go that are already ready made, right? You know, but you don't want that type of person. You want that type of person that's been in an environment that has, you know, organizing their chaos and built something to a fully controlled organized organization. That's it, right? It's something called, what do you call it? How do I say it? It's a total rebuild, restructure.
Mick,
Yeah?
can I just add
But he's done that. He's done that with Brighton.
He has.
You know, he's done that with Newcastle, because let us not kid us. Not like, Newcastle was in disarray, as similar to Manchester United was under Mike Ashley. You know, so he's got that. He's been on the 3 transfer seasons, but it's not only recruitment, Bilal. You know, a colleague of mine works very closely with Dan Ashworth in Newcastle. So he's told me everything about him. Like, this guy has the finger on the pulse on everything, right? It's not just about recruitment. He will sit there in together in that meeting together with, Omar Barada, Ten Hag, and the whoever that might be, the head of recruitment, and they will discuss. But his job is to create that vision, create that communication, create that structure, and make sure that everyone is following the same line all the way through all the departments. So it's basically the same dress code, if you know what I mean. And that is what he's so good at.
I was watching a David Ornstein interview on Rio Ferdinand's channel yesterday, and he made a very valid point. He was saying, Mick, these type of roles of director of footballs are going to become even more valuable to clubs because of FFP, because of how strict and how spending is going. Somebody like Dan Ashworth will be the first that might go for 5 to 10 million. But as things progress, these are going to be gold dust and hard to find good operators.
Oh.
And somebody like Dan Ashworth who should be able to save you tens of millions in the transfer market.
Yeah, and not only that, you touched on something that I forgot to mention. You mentioned something about Liverpool, that they have 300 less staff, right? No, what people don't really talk about and should be mentioning, that when you look at FFP, they count the overall head count of your staff in the football operation, part of the FFP, right? So it's not just the player's wage bill, it's the entire wage bill, right? So that means that you go in there, what's your job? Oh, I'm the chief operating officer. Oh, well, what have you done here? Performance management, interview, you're out of here, right? You're not part of the same page that we want to be, X, Y, Z. So you will have those interviews, but it comes down to slashing down like maybe half of the staff, maybe 30% of the senior executives. I don't know. But that's the first thing that's going to happen, right? Because that's also affecting the FFP. Then you will look at the player squad to say, wait a minute, why are you not performing? Why are we paying you 300K per week or 250 per week? Doesn't really make sense. How much playing time, injury time do you have? How much availability? And why are we paying you for that money? Because you hardly play 20 games per week. You're out. That's going to be more ruthless.
Of course, like somebody like Rashford is on 350 a week. He should be getting pulled in. Like, what are you doing for 350 a week? Look, Casemiro's a different kind of kettle of fish, where he came into a different environment. Rashford was signed on a new contract last season, and he, as a top earner, is absolutely not doing anything. Same with Jadon Sancho. Same with even Luke Shaw, who's just constantly injured season on season.
But I heard from a very, very credible source they've been protected. They've been very much protected, but that protection is gone now. Will be gone. So that's what I'm saying. Nobody is safe. They will look at the overall. I mean, I kid you not. Their prime mission is to cut down that wage bill, to get rid of all the mistakes that have been done in the past, to offer silly money for mediocre players and get rid of that squad. Good luck, but that is the prime objective, what I've been told, right? So nobody's safe. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure if PSG comes in and puts a bid for Rashford, they will sell him. I think they will, right? Because that protection is gone. All the jobs for boys will be gone. We're talking about Darren Fletcher, the mates, everyone will be gone. So it will be total new direction of management, of leaders, right? That's coming in. We saw Gary Neville today was also report that Gary Neville is going to get involved regarding the stadium development and the surroundings. We've seen reports coming out today. They already appointed John Rees and Rob Nevin has been formally appointed members. Yeah.
To the board, yeah.
Directors of the company and board, yeah. So they're slowly making the moves. Like it's like a, breakdown moves. So moves, Yeah.
The thing is, we just touch on Gary Neville, just so people that are not from Manchester might not know this. Gary Neville's got a huge property business in Manchester, commercial and residential. It's absolutely huge. He owns a hotel opposite Old Trafford, Hotel Football, and in the city centre, he's got huge developments. And what they want to do is, I think the council want him on board as well, just for to give his view on things, because that whole development is not just Old Trafford; it's also the area that the council own, where they want to link it to Media City. So it's a big area that they want to develop. And I think if he's coming on board, somebody that's been very anti-Glazer from a very long time, I think it's a positive move. So, it shows the club are changing in a direction of listening to people and taking opinions on board. And just one other thing, I think one thing that's gone under the radar is with people like Dan Ashworth, Jason Wilcox, these type of people coming in, it'll actually free up the manager from a mental point of view, where he's not worrying about dealing with Jadon Sancho and his hissy fits and Rashford being on the piss in fucking Dublin. He'll just focus on coaching, and there's other people to support him in these matters.
Yeah. Listen, under no circumstances have I ever taken sides, right? You got to get me right on this, right? All we ever wanted was a dream to get the Glazers out. That's all we wanted as United fans. Agree, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, there was a shock when they came out to say that November on Thanksgiving that we are going for a strategic review and the club's going to be for sale. We went like nuts, right? I'm telling you, I kid you not, if somebody at that point will just come in and offer 25%, I bet you everyone will get on board. And everyone did, right, when they were mentioning Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But as soon as somebody came in and offered 100%, that's where even I went up. I like Qatar bid, because all of a sudden there was only two offers, right? So I personally went on the Qatar side. But
most people did. You weren't the only one.
Yeah, because you know what? He offers everything that we fans wanted, a clear the debt and everything. But at the end of the day, I always supported whoever will kick the Glazers out and making sure that they are not charged of the football operation, because that has been the stumbling block. Not only for we know this story about how much money they're taking out of the club, and that's been taken out from the footballing operation. There's no other club in the world that's taking money out of the footballing operational side. Yeah, the money that you earn from footballing operation is the money that you use for transfer windows, but the Glazers been taking that money out, right? So I think what I wanted to say personally, I'm not going to put my hand up to say I supported the takeover. I did, right? I supported when it was 69%, but I was suspicious when I went to 25%. But the more you look at it, the more you come to a realization that he only needs to put in another 23.7% to have full ownership, majority.
Yeah, what you've got to understand is there's a couple of points there to dissect. Firstly, 100% sale is always better than a 25% sale, fact, right? The problem with the Qataris was that they had a set budget for this, which they couldn't go over. And they cornered themselves by saying it was 100% purchase. And that was where they couldn't there was no maneuver for them to say, if we go at 50%, 60%, we keep two views on board. They without reading the room and getting in the room with them, they cornered themselves. Secondly, the reason I'm saying they had a set budget, if you look at the documents that were released,
The SEC document, yeah, I read them. Yeah,
when Avram Glazer's gone to El Khalifi and saying to him, "Get your boys to up it to $35 a share for everyone, and we'll
it will
sell
be
it."
yours. Yeah,
They were coming back saying we're only going to give A shareholders 26 or 27, so that then ruled them out.
yeah, because you know why? They only wanted to buy all the Class B shareholders. They offered $35 per share for all the Glazer shares. They didn't give a rat's ass about the Class A. That's the thing.
But that
right?
was what Ratcliffe was doing at the start as well.
Yeah, no. The thing is that if you know the Cayman Island laws, like in fair trading, which the company is registered, you have to offer equal price for both Class A and Class B shares, and this is how they failed, right? The budgeting in that way is that we will buy the majority of the Glazer shares because why? That gives you all the how do you say? It gives you all the boards on the seats. It gives you the what do you call it? Operational upper hand, right? It gives you the ownership, right? And then we look at the Class A's. So the big mistake is, I would agree with you, is that this club could have been Qatar's if they offered equal 35-35.
Mick, the Qataris have bought companies where they have not bought 100% to start with.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to. When you read the room and you figure out two of these guys don't want to leave, is there a way maybe we can do a deal?
Be flexible.
Yes. The second thing is, what we all wanted from the start is an owner that cares, an owner that puts money in, and an owner that takes you to the top. Whether that's Qatari, Jamaican, English, Indian, it doesn't matter who they were.
Don't matter.
Criteria.
Don't matter.
What Ratcliffe did really well, and I said this in some of my own podcasts because I was interviewing people at the time. I was saying to him, I don't understand why Ratcliffe is still in the race if he's not confident. He's no mug that he's buying a company for the first time and he doesn't know what's going on. And eventually what he did was he figured out a way of doing a deal. Now, if you paint the deal in a black and white way, which is he's a 25% owner, I agree with everyone. That's a shit deal to everyone. But you have to look at what the deal actually is. Is 25% or 28%?
27 point.
Yeah, it'll be 28 by the end of the year, right? 28%. Yeah. He's the largest individual shareholder, okay. But he takes football in control, number one. And number two is that Manchester United have an option in 18 months where they could sell the whole club. Number three, which is totally being missed by everyone, is United are due balloon interest payments next year and the year after at 300 to 400 million. What that tells me is that Ratcliffe will make the payments and convert into shares again, debt to equity. Yep. And if Ratcliffe is looking at building a stadium to increase the value of the club, who's paying for that? If it is Ratcliffe, it'll be a debt to equity again. And lastly, if tomorrow the world economy crashes and the bank said to United, we want our money back, Ratcliffe is the only guy out there right now that can write a check for $1 billion because he's got cash in the bank, and that could convert to shares also.
Yeah, you're right there. People were asking me, how are you going to refurbish Old Trafford? Well, it's all debt to equity at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's debt to equity. He could pay for it and say, right, it's going to cost 1.5 billion.
Yeah, right? But you cash out you take the debt, but that becomes to an equity at the end of the day, right? So
exactly.
So that means that the stadium can be rebuilt, but you also seek sponsorship. If you look at Bayern Munich Stadium called Allianz Stadium, right? Allianz, it's a massive insurance company.
New naming rights.
Yeah, true. Spotify Stadium, New Camp. Yeah, you know what I mean. So when you paint the picture in that way, one can also say that not only was Ratcliffe smart in maneuvering, he had great moves, right? Skillful moves to instrument such a deal, right? He was thinking, well, hang on a second. Why should I go and pay 69% when I can do this? And within 3-4 years, buy them out. So he figured the way out what you said. I see that clearly. Point number two is that what you said, anyone can buy the Glazer shares out within 18 months, but on a minimum of $33 per share. So, how does Glazers win? Well, Glazers just made sure, trust me, they just made sure that whoever wants to buy them out has to pay another premium, which will be $35, $40 per share to buy them out if they want to sell. So that means if Ratcliffe wants to buy another shares, he has $33 per share guaranteed. But if somebody else wants to come in, Ratcliffe has first refusal to match that bid.
That's right.
But you might see that the Glazer will cash out like, $40-$45 per share. So the Glazer's done something smart, which I hate, to be honest. Right?
But
you see the double-edged sword there.
Yeah,
like,
but
I
to
hate
be at $44 per share, you're gonna have to have a winning team. Number one.
Yeah.
You're gonna
But
have to have
that's the way the Glazers seen it. Okay, Jim, you come in here. We give you the sporting rights. You employ the best-in-class people. We realize winning will make us more money, and then within 18 months, we won a title. We will cash out. That's probably
and the way Ratcliffe is positioned it, it's a win for Glazers, definitely. And it's a win for him also because he knows these guys don't have the money. They've maxed everything out. They've got payments due. They've got an infrastructure that's dying and they need money. And he's got money because just to show his own personal wealth, the guy had to prove that he had money, which he showed he had $4 billion liquid cash in the bank, right?
But bro, listen, bro. It feels like we're talking like we both are bipolar. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what? Part of me is excited about the football and the way we are going forward, and another part is still stuck on the fucking Glazers. You know what I mean? Fucking Glazers. They're still winning, and this is what I don't like. Like fucking bipolar. You know?
Yeah, look,
personality. You get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying.
It's not an ideal situation. I agree with that. I think what I think what we need to do is like I said, the Glazers are not in charge of footballing decisions. That's the most thing that every fan's passionate about. And let's see what decisions and moves these guys make now going forward.
Yeah. Sometimes it's called, there's 5 stages through depression, right? You know that statement.
Yeah.
First comes grief, then comes anger, then comes bargaining, but the last one is acceptance, right? I think I can't remember the fourth one, but the last one is acceptance, and you just have to accept, I know it's hard, but you just have to accept this is written in stone. What's next? Well, okay, let's go. Get us a CEO, done. Get us a technical director, done. Get us a director of football, done. Get us recruit. Get us everyone, all the best in class people, right? And that's what you said has never been done for.
No,
we have never had it that way.
No, we've never had
it. It's all of a sudden we become a modern powerhouse football club, right?
Even when Abramovich took Peter Kenyon when he bought Chelsea, we took David Gill internally. We've always recruited internally. It's always been, that's how it has been, and that's led to the decline. And if you look at now, it's the first time in a long time. One, an owner's putting his own money in. Two, the Glazers will never be in charge of footballing decisions, which is very, very important. And three, we're hiring.
We deserve better saying there's 7 stages actually. If you can find me the 2 extra stages. Sorry, Bilal, I was just reading this. Yeah, I agree with you. Can you read what Jarl is saying? Sometimes we have to go through the worst, through the mud to get to the golden nugget at the end. Don't like that the Glazers will get rich, but end game is where they've been gone. And I see that, I see that they will be eventually fizzed out. And that is, from a business perspective, there you see, he only needs to put in another 23 point something % to have, majority of ownership, majority of say. But as you said, Glazers have no fingers in the footballing operation.
No,
none.
And this is watertight. This whole agreement. It's not like they look to get this over the line. The amount of legal teams that would have had to work on this and to word this, because the way the constitution was written, the memorandums, the whole thing, it was a complex deal. And this guy would not put his name to it if he was not confident of, one, being in control, to being able to implement his ideas. Well, Mick, let's just simplify it, right?
Oh,
Fuck
no,
on
no,
the
no. I
guy.
know what you're going to
Yeah.
say. I mean,
No,
why
so
would
what
I
I'm gonna
give
say
you?
is,
Why would I give
let's
you
even
2
simplify
billion? Why
it.
would I give you
Let's,
2 billion? Right, Bilal?
yeah.
Why would I give you 2 billion? Just give you 2 billion. I'm a billionaire. I'm
The
a
guy's
soon
walking
billionaire.
around the place as if he owns it already.
Yeah,
Do you
100%.
know? So we have to then, as fans, think, okay, we have to support that because, guys, nobody else came and paid them what they wanted. And the way the world economic situation looks, I don't think anyone else in 18 months is going to turn up to pay either. It's Ratcliffe all the way, unless
Well,
fucking MBS from Saudi Arabia decides he wants to buy
hear
it.
me out. Hear me out. The debt needs to be cleared. I mean, you said, but that can be converted over to bond again, right? It could be refinanced.
Ineos can take it on their books as well.
Yes, 100%. They do, right?
Well, trawlers can take it. They've got 4 billion in the bank.
They can. Everything can. It's possible. So this is a lot of questions that we don't have answers to, and this is what we want to hear. So that's what I'm saying. What's next is to, let us hear them out. Let us hear them out. We have seen what they will bring in terms of structure. We will come to the summer, Bilal, and we will judge it in the summer window as well. What they're going to do in the summer window, right? That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons they're trying to take Jason Wilcox is I think they feel that Dan Ashworth will not be. Yeah, I've read that. They said depression, loneliness, reflection, instruction. Oh, there you go, mate.
No,
It's
no, no.
7.
I read. I know 5. If you Google, it's 5. But I don't know. We deserve better. Comes up with the 7 stage of depression, shock and disbelief. 2, denial. We've been through this as fans before. 3, guilt. 4, anger and bargaining. That's what we always been doing with the fans. Divide and conquer, anger and arguing between each other, and then comes realization, depression. Then comes loneliness. We detach ourselves, and depression and reflection. 7 is reconstruction, or working through it, and 7 is acceptance. So we are kind of in this 7, 6, 7 there,
Yeah, look,
7, yeah.
But also, Mick, like you said, we do not know the vision until he starts to do his press rounds end of this
Yeah,
week,
true.
next week. That's when you'll see what his vision is. And just to put it out there off the cuff, he's not going to come out and say the Glazers are knobheads, the Glazers are XYZ.
Never will, but he thinks
can't
they
say
are.
that. He works with them. Yeah, he works
But
with
he
them.
knows. You can
He knows,
say.
but
You can tell.
when
You
you work
can
with
tell.
someone,
You can tell Bilal. You can tell Bilal. He deep inside, he thinks, "What a bunch of knobheads." I swear to
he's
God,
also
if you're a billionaire, if you run Ineos to the perfection, you have Brailsford, you have Jean-Claude Blanc. These are professionals, right? These are structure guys. You walk in, you get invited to come into Carrington and Mayfair, and you look at that and you go, what the fuck happened here? What the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is, look how we've gone from our footballing people were Darren Fletcher, John Murto,
Yeah,
and Richard
exactly.
Arnold.
Exactly.
We've gone to Blanc,
Omar Barada,
Barada, Ashworth, Wilcox, another 2, 3 that they're going to add in. You've got Brailsford, who's not a footballing person, but his job is not really footballing related. So suddenly it's
performance optimization.
It's a different
Getting the
field.
best out of everyone. That's what it is. Making sure that it's like every one of us is sitting in a boat. We are going to Hobart in Volvo Ocean Race. His job is to make sure that everyone is performing so we can get there as fast as we can. It's not rocket science, It's like, okay, you're building a rocket. You have a rocket. It's a straight line, point A to point B. But his job is, how do we get there as quick as possible? That's his job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To get rid of all these processes and bottlenecks and everything.
And the thing is, look, he could have come in and said, right, we're going to sign Mbappe and Kimmich, and we're going to throw in, I don't know, we're going to bid for Vinicius Jr., and that's our summer. Really, that's what a lot of fans will think, yeah, this is... But look at what they're trying to do. They've understood where the problem, where every fan has said, we're shit in the transfer window, we buy players and they become shit, or we buy the wrong players, or we don't identify players. They've come in and addressed it straight away. Straight away. Within 12 weeks, they've gone bang, bang, bang. Right.
Cool.
The next thing is, let's see what they do in the window.
All right. I will be even more shrewd and rude. I will ask the question, can you win us titles? Straight answer. Can you win us titles?
They're not spending all this money to play in Europa League, are they?
I mean, everyone should ask the questions. can you win us titles? We are Manchester United. We deserve this. We've been deprived. We haven't won a Premier League title for 11 years. We haven't won a Champions League for 14 years. Now, you got to ask yourself the question, with this change that's happening, do you see us winning a title? My answer to that is yes. How about you?
United are going to win a title, whether it's now, next year, 20 years, they're going to win another title. But the thing is, we want it as soon as possible. But
no, mate, let me stop you there. The way the trajectory has been going, 6 managers sacked, no change. We haven't won a title. We will never win a title if we will continue like this. We will continue 10 years swapping managers after managers after managers. Yeah. We will never win a title.
But Mick, we sacked 6 managers, you said, and not won a title. A new owner's come in, co-owner, and he's not sacked the manager. He sacked the people that were making the decisions.
Exactly what I wanted to say. That's what I've been saying for 40 minutes. Sacking everyone above, clean house. But it's not nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with the football. It's nothing wrong with the personnel. It's nothing wrong with the coaches. It's just the above has allowed this rotten down all the way down to the core, creating this toxic environment with player power and everything. That's gone.
Mick, can I just give an alternative way of thinking on this?
Sure.
Look at what happened at Chelsea. Todd Bowley came in. Suddenly he decided he was the director of football. Went on a fucking spending spree. Spent £1 billion and made Chelsea look worse than what they were. And when you ask Chelsea now, what do you want to do? Well, we want to be a team that can defend well, score goals with a clinical striker. Well, that's what you were before fucking Todd Bowley came in. So
but he did a classical mistake. He got rid of the people that matters. There was the heart and soul of Chelsea. Marina, what's his Marina Gaiskaya or something? The best negotiator in the business, right? He got rid of all the people that did Chelsea great. You know what I mean? And he said, no, I'm going to do everything myself. I'm going to be the sporting director. I'm going to be the acting CEO. I'm going to be everything. So it was the Todd Bowley show, right? So he went in like in one window, boom, 8 players, 12 players. He bought a new squad. Ain't going to work like that.
And then what he did was he fucking stupidly signed them on 10-year. If you thought Glazers were bad,
8 years contracts.
8-10-year contracts. So when you hear somebody like, Mudryk saying, I want to leave, I'm like, who's going to sign you? So Ineos haven't done that. They could have easily done that. They could have said, right, we're going to do. They were in charge of the January transfer, and it was part of the deal that nothing could be done without their say-so. But no, they focused on looking at the internal issues and building on that.
Is there an interview going on right now with Sir Jim?
No, I think that's the one in the press that was gone on today. I don't think it's a interview.
Okay. Well, fact is, we're just having a conversation with guys, forgive us. We see your VR room, the chatters. We can see your comments. If you're viewing, if you can smash the like button, please do so. But it's not mandatory this time. It is just a reflection as a global fan base, how you feel, how we feel. There's a lot of questions that we need to ask as a diehard United fans, because this is our future. Our future is on stake. Isn't it? We cannot. What I'm saying, we cannot afford to make a mistake here. Now, another thing that calms me down a bit, because when Ineos took over Nice, they didn't have an experience. They fucked up in the beginning, but they got that right, and they took that experience and made Nice, a top club right now in Ligue 1, right? By appointing the right people.
Yeah, they appointed. What they did was they originally came in and they made a lot of mistakes. But where they started to get it right was they appointed a proper sporting director, who then brought a manager in, and they recruited based on that. And that's what they're doing here. But what they're doing is in France, it's slightly different because it's not a big team, so you can only attract a certain amount of talent. Here, because you're with United, you're seeing that you can attract the creme de la creme, people that want to come and work here, people that want to help build the club. So that is a positive step. It's not as washed up as some people are saying.
I hope you're not hungry. I'm looking at this sandwich, bacon butty. I love that. And one of our members is coming here and make a valid point. The Glazers obviously never intended to sell to sell up or go. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe had to reduce his percentage just to get in and make an impact. Who else wanted and was capable of buying United? I respect Sir Jim for his endurance. That's what we talked about earlier. Like, he finessed it, he made his move, and he figured out a calculated move how he can buy them out in the future. So when you look at it, I think he outsmarted a little bit of the Glazers to say, like, I'll give you here, but in the long term, it will be a hostile takeover. And that's what it's going to be.
Because these guys need to pay serious money back in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
They haven't got any more money to it.
They are locked. I mean, basically, the balls to the walls, Glazers, because they are in serious debt.
In serious debt. And then they need somebody who can fucking, without borrowing more money, actually pay money. So then this guy was ideal because
but you know what's going to happen? He's going to take on the balloon payment. In return, he will take B shares.
Exactly. If they say, right, the banks have called in £500 million of our loans, shit, what do we do? He can write a check. He's proven he can write a check because like I've said before, he's got 4 billion liquid cash.
Okay, so he will just write a check to Bank of America. Here you go, 4 billion, 5. And what would you say? Half a billion.
Even if half a billion was called in.
And if you look at that purchase agreement, that will convert over to Class B shares.
Exactly.
Boom.
Exactly.
Boom. There you have it. Boom. Smart.
There we go. Yeah. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
And I think
Tank the Sherman, how you going, my friend? I can see you here. What you're saying here. Fans are just backseat drivers. Just because you buy match tickets doesn't give you the right to drive the club. True. We have no say in this, but we do have opinions, mate. We are not the KPI holders. We are not the director of football. We are not the one that are recruiting the players. We just voice our opinions. At the end of the day, that's realistic, isn't it? Right? I always say that.
Absolutely.
We can always go like, I want Mbappe. I don't want this player. He's shit. He's that. And I go like, well, hang on, mate. Are you the head of recruitment? Are you Ten Hag? We are not. But that's football, isn't it? That's being a fan.
Like, the thing is, another thing with this is that I think you have to always understand is that as fans, we do have a voice, but sometimes having an emotional voice is not good as well. You have to take things from factually. I was looking, just to kind of link to my point, I was looking at Germany and all the protests going on, because the 51 method that they've got, where 51% of the club is owned by X and fans have an ownership, and how the Bundesliga is struggling to compete and they want to bring in foreign investment, like people can buy clubs. And even that model's not working. If you look at Barcelona fan-owned, it did not really work because look at the fucking mess they're in. So there's no ideal ownership model. The ideal model is Roman Abramovich, right? Because fucking pumps loads of money in, didn't even take a penny out, smashed it, and then left. But Ratcliffe is not far behind. He's a fan. He's moved his way into the club, and let's see what he does.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to go to the comments section. We've been rambling for 48 minutes without interaction of you fans. So sorry about that. It is full of emotions. And going to talk a little bit about the overall expectation. We've spoken about Dan Ashworth. But predominantly of this podcast today is about talking about what's next, moving forward, turning the page, what's going to happen with Old Trafford. I had a podcast yesterday and I said, you know what? I'd rather not knock down Old Trafford, spend the money because it's a soul, It's so many memories that it's been there since 1908, since they built it, right? So
correct, yeah.
Yeah. So there's so many memories that you cannot take it away from, so many, Stretford and the 1958 Busby Babes. Come on, man. That environment cannot be taken. And basically all the souls in heaven, if there's a footballing gods looking down, they're passed away, they're probably looking down at the stadium, right? The Trinity.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got to be practical and realistic in what can be done as well.
Yeah.
Right? So the problem is, if you spend 800 million doing the stadium up, you'll still have problems. And then you might have to spend more money on the rest of it. But the thing is, if you do move to a new stadium, it'll stay on the same site, but it'll just be a newer stadium, and you could
I
potentially.
know, and this comes to the being bipolar again, the double-edged sword. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? The analogy, right? It's the same thing. Like, you feel sorry for Old Trafford because this is our heritage, this is our DNA. But if you're going to turn the page to start fresh, that means that Sir Alex Ferguson is not going to be on the board anymore as an honorable board member. David Gill, go rest. You're 80 years of age. Be an ambassador. Rock up to the game. It's time to flip the page and create the new United. You might look at that way as well, right? Are we living in the past, or are we
Yeah,
looking to create a new future?
the thing is, we want the best stadium in the country. You're not going to get that by redoing Old Trafford. You're just not. It's not possible. So, what the best way of doing this is moving to a new stadium on the same site and keeping the stadium potentially, or downgrading it or something. But where you could actually win is if the new stadium had similarities to Old Trafford, the feel inside wise, that
The
kind of.
feeling.
Yeah, because you're not going to build. There's no way you can take a building that's 100 years old and make it the best in the country.
No,
The
no,
length.
no. And the ambience, the feeling. I mean, the
I'm six
ambience is
foot,
special. It's
Mick.
very
I'm
special,
6 foot.
very unique. Hmm?
I'm 6 foot, and I struggle sitting in them seats. Number one. Number two is the transport's really difficult. Trying to get out of the car park's difficult.
True.
And so when fans start moaning, well, Etihad is getting games in the Euros and we're not getting games. That's why. When they analyze stadiums, they look at transport, they look at fan experience, they look at so many,
Yeah,
and we don't have any of that.
100%. Yeah,
So there's no point spending 800-900 million on that stadium and
yeah.
then trying to create the best stadium. It's just not. You're better off spending
Right.
1.5 billion and just creating a whole new stadium.
Okay. Point. Let's move on and go to the comments section because we owe you a lot of comments. And we're going to move on to the next topic. Yeah, going back in time, what we missed was Yalim Amin to say that Qatar at start had a better offer and they promised a lot. No need to apologize for anything either. People have the right to choose who they support and when they want to change their mind. That's humanity, isn't it? Common sense. That happens all the time in life. You know what? Every time you go to a grocery shop to choose, should I buy Snickers or Mars? I changed my mind. Snickers. You know what I mean? You know what you're going to get. Tank the Sherman, what you're saying here. I went back and looked at some of the United Fan Channel statements on Sir Jim Ratcliffe, how the tide has changed. Embarrassing. You will see my name on many live chats in support of Sir Jim Ratcliffe over a year ago. Yeah, probably. And then you continue what you're saying. I got completely ridiculed and even banned for many timeouts. United View banned me. Now look at them. United Stand timed me out. Look at them now. Bro, I'm sorry to hear that, right? How can I, as a fan, trust any opinion you lot give? You flip-flop all the time as well as your followers. Now, Tank, this is not what I agree with you, right?
Nick, could I answer that?
Yeah, sure, you can answer, but I understand what you're trying to say there, Tanky.
I think what you have to understand is it's not about flip-flopping. It's about as more and more information is given to you, that's when your ideology or your thinking changes. Because at the start, none of these guys were speaking. So now suddenly, if Jim Ratcliffe is saying, "We're going to employ this guy, we're doing this," more people are buying into his vision, and that's all it is. As you get more information, naturally you change.
True, Tank Sherman, I know your name. You've been with this channel for over a year, right? Did you ever get banned? Did you ever? Every single person that came here had a voice, have an opinion. We never choose sides. We were just always provide a balanced approach. Always trying to present you with two sides of the story. But at the end of the day, we always said, how you interpret it is your interpretation and your, how do you say it? It's your judgment, right? It's not for us to say. We are not the news. We don't create the news. But one thing that we never did is flip-flopping to be 100% glazes out. That it was the foundation of the old channel, right? So I don't owe anyone any apology because I've been true to myself and true to my audience and true to my community. You know, you see the banner still up there? Can you see the banner? Glazers out. Tell me any fan channel that still keeps that banner up other than Nuruddin. Then come back to me and talk to me about that one, mate. But big up to you. I do respect you, and I see you every time you come in here. And I do. Everyone that comes in here, always give you guys respect. And everyone has different opinions, but that's what it is. We're footballing fans. We should never been dragged into this takeover saga in the first place. We should never even care who is the director of football or head of recruitment. You asked me 10 years ago, I didn't even know who that was. Yeah? You understand me? Like, you know, nobody really cared who the Glazers was. Like, you know, before, everyone was staring at, we were winning titles. We had, you know, Sir Alex and David Gill. Nobody really paid attention to the Glazers until Sir Alex left, until we stopped winning. That's where everyone started to notice. That's
Absolutely.
my opinion.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
So what about just getting back into be a footballing fan, right?
That's the plan. That is the plan.
I'm personally looking forward for it, like to just be enjoying football. Right?
Yeah, mate, look, at the end of the day, winning, when you're winning, you forget everything. Like Liverpool, when they were winning, when they started winning, they forgot about FSG out and XYZ. And same with United. Once we start performing on the pitch, really nobody's going to care about who's the director of football and who's the head analyst and who's head of recruitment.
Yeah, but never forget who is in the background still until they're gone. That's what I want to say. And that's what I will always carrying this banner up here on my channel. I won't flip-flop. You will never see me flip-flop on that one.
Absolutely.
Let me be clear, like, you know, clip this. Let me be clear. That banner will never disappear until they're gone.
I agree. I agree with you.
Now, since this statement came out, I said to myself, I endorse whoever gets the path to get these Glazers up. But at the end of the day, I'm a Manchester United fan. I love my fucking team. And I want to see trophies. I have standards. That's me personally, right? I'm sick and tired of seeing poor performances. I'm sick and tired not even finishing top 2. You know? I'm sick and tired of fans and everyone, the Glazers had made us to lower down the standards. That's got to change. And the way I see it now, in the vision, what they're portraying, I can see us getting back to the top within 2-3 years, 100%.
Yeah, and I think what you'll see is a lot of movement over the next 18 months regarding ownership as well. You'll start to see movement. You'll start to see things moving a lot quicker than they have done over the last 18, 20 years. So let's see how that plays out.
Yeah. Siege mentality always works well. Back the boss, remove the misfits once and for all, and we have a sporting chance. Stephanie Griffith, always coming in with sense. Facts make I want them out, full stop. Yeah. Listen, we went through the 7 stages of grief. Thanks for, you know, we deserve better. It's going to be a lot of movements. You're going to hear a lot of things. I'm wondering who will be the director of football. Not the director of football. I'm so used to saying director of football, but it's actually head of recruitment. That is the next step, right? Apparently, this young kid, Sam Jules, we were talking about, he accepted Chelsea now, right?
That's right, yeah. They're also looking at a few others as well.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So you will have Dan Ashworth, that is an expert on Premier League football. You will have a head of recruitment that has the international pedigree, that has a vast network of scouting networks from grassroots leagues, South Africa, India, whatever. You know what I mean? Japan.
And you're also going to get Jason Wilcox. I think
Player development for the academy.
Yeah, no, I think he's coming as deputy director of football.
Right, but he's going to be charge of the academy, making the academy the best in class.
He's going to come in as deputy, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And
right. We can all have view about owners. The reality was that there was 2 bids for a full sale and partial sale. The Glazers never wanted full sale, so Sir Jim Ratcliffe was always going to be the choice for the Glazers. I don't know. I'm not the Glazers. I cannot tell you. Anyway, big up 35 likes. Get those likes up, people. Now we're being slaving. Now we're getting warmed up. Now the gloves are off. Yes. Okay, park this in the bud. We spoke about the future. Let the man come to work. Let him speak. Let us see and let us judge in the summer after the window. That's the realistical thing that we can do, isn't it?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there something else that we're going to talk about? What do you expect in the transfer window in the summer? Is there even point talking about it until we know?
Just linked to the transfer news is breaking that Shaw's out for 3 months. So
who?
Luke Shaw's out for 3 months.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, so he's out for the season. I told you he's always really fucking injured.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Pointless. Should have just kept the regular.
Jesus fucking Christ! 3 months. I'm sorry, guys, for throwing.
He's out. That's what March, April, May. He's out for the season.
He's got to be gone in this summer, mate.
Yeah, he's been here 10 years.
Listen, how much are we paying? We're paying him $250 a week, according to my memory, right? You got to assess. Okay, if you're Brailsford, you're coming in. How much injury time do you have? Okay. Oh, how much clocking time do you have on playing time? What? How much pay do you have? Fuck off.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think who they'll play at left back now.
Oh. Yeah. That's a fuck up. We loaned out Alvaro Fernandez, who should definitely not.
But you can play Dallo at left back, but bloody
Alvaro Fernandez left at all. Yeah. I agree with you, Marco, what you're saying there. Alvaro Fernandez, I see Alvaro Fernandez being recalled in the summer. He's playing for Benfica, the champions of Portugal. Definitely it's going to be youth. I can't see them for the love of my life to keep an injury-prone player like Luke Shaw. He's been great. But he's getting too
He's been okay. He's not been great. Great is Patrice Evra's great. Dennis Irwin's
but
great.
not consistent season. Has there ever been a season where he's been injury-free? No.
No, he's constantly injured. Injured. He's more injured than Martial. Yeah.
Oh, and speaking about Martial, I spoke to a very close friend of mine, an agent. I'm not going to mention any names. But he was representing Martial to get a loan deal, and he had deals lined up for Martial to 2 clubs, Premier League clubs. Guess who said no?
Martial.
Murta.
Oh, really?
Yes, he said no. Fucking asshole, right? And they made this story, and then this makes sense because club statement came out to say that he's out for groin surgery. His agent said hip abductors.
There's no point even worrying about the past now. Let's look forward and let's look.
I'm saying it's just like shambles. So that's why I'm saying I'm so looking forward for competent people and no more lies and no more leaks. That's
absolutely.
Ten Hag, summer. I will survive. First time when I saw you, I was petrified.
Yeah, I don't think he'll survive personally.
You don't?
I don't think so.
What kind of message does it send to sack another manager?
But I don't think he's sacking another manager. I don't think he's helping himself. I did a podcast on my own channel, Full Time Reds, with Coach Rafaz. If anybody wants to check it
Coach
out,
Rafaz,
I come out Monday. It's on my channel, and he broke down tactically where. And Coach Rafas is huge on TikTok. He's massive. He's viral, and he was breaking down where Ten Hag keeps going wrong, and he was saying, "I can see it, and I'm not at that level." And he was saying he's doing it intentionally, where the defender joins the attack, where they're trying to play. So it's a really interesting watch. But based on what he told me from a tactical point of view, and the way he's going, I think. He's not going to survive. I just don't see him surviving.
I apologize to Sir Jim. He does what he says he's going to do. Long road ahead, people thinking we are back and getting giddy. No, Rome wasn't built in one day, and I agree with your compost Smurf, right? I ain't apologizing to anyone, but I want to see, okay, if you're saying what you're going to do, play like you mean it, like we say to the players.
Yeah, there's a comment there saying he will survive the full 3 years. He won't survive the full 3 years because he's only got a year left. So they're gonna have
he's
to.
He's got a year left on his contract.
They're gonna have to make a decision whether.
No, I mean, you know what? Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Making top 5, top 4 is massive. It's massive. if he doesn't make fifth Europa League or Champions League, he's out. That's what I think.
Mick, I don't see him surviving because, look, let's look at it realistically. He's got 1 year left, right? They're not going to go into a summer transfer window with a coach with a year left and buy players that he wants and spend money.
No. They're going to take away his
they're
veto.
Going to either have to give him an extension or let him go. And that will be the next step, in my opinion. They're not going to say, yeah, we'll let him see out. Ten Hag is going to want insurances that I've got a year left. What should I do? Because Ten Hag might get offered the Barcelona job and he might turn it down thinking he's here for another 2-3 years and let that go. And suddenly he's not got a job. So there's a lot of jobs out there this summer, including Bayern Munich now. So Ten Hag's going to want clarification. I think Ineos will give clarification because they are not going into a summer window with a manager who's got a year left, and they're going to spend money based on what he thinks he needs as well. Sim,
do I have to explain? I've seen you in this channel before. You know, how can you say that we flip-flopped? You have seen this. I've seen you so many times. We explained ourselves earlier, mate. So please, we haven't flip-flopped. As soon as new information comes out, you have to sort of debate as a fans, doesn't it? Yeah, we were sold on Qatar. Yeah, 100%. We spoke to it, but you know, to judge this channel that we flip flop around like anyone else, nah, get out of here, mate. I don't think so. Sorry, I love you, bro, but you know this channel. You've been here so many times in the VR room, so it is what it is, mate. You know, just
we just coming back to that on a positive thing. We have got Harry Amos, who's under 18s, I think. He's been highly touted as a left back.
Yeah, man. Listen, I want to pick your brains. Let's move on. Positive vibes, guys. Fuck this shit. Like, you know, let's move on. We are fucking United fans, no matter what you do. You come and fucking slag each other off, do that on another channel, but don't fucking come here and slag the fucking passionate United fans. We are here for fucking sake, for same red passion shirt. We want what's best for the fucking club. And one thing that I can't stand is the fuckers up there. I'm sorry to say that. Fuck's sake. It's time to move the fucking page. It's time to win fucking trophies again. It's time to fucking feel like a fucking United supporter. Fuck this shit. The Glazers were gone sooner or fucking later. But there's one issue at a time. Right now, I don't know if you're a Manchester United fan, if you still want to sit there and think, oh, we got to fucking compete. We got to win titles again. And that's what we fucking want, isn't it? I'm sorry. At least me. I have fucking standards. I'm fucking shit tired of not winning anything for fucking 10 years, mate.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry for you.
I think it'll be positive. Let's see how it goes and let's see how it moves forward. Let's see what he says in the press conference. Let's see what moves they want to make, and that way.
But mate, for fuck's sake, why should I admit that I'm fucking wrong, Sim? To try to explain myself. Why are you trying to clip me out here, mate? You're rounding me out. You've been. What do you mean? Accept when I'm wrong? Why should I fucking accept that I'm wrong, mate? Talk to me. What is this? Are we fans trying to clip each other out to say like who's wrong, who's right? It's like the fucking fan base has been fucking divided on two camps for far too long. Now it's time to fucking come together, unify. That's what I'm trying to say, mate. So like, what the fuck? You know, why should you put your hand up to say I was wrong? Yeah. Should I say I was wrong for supporting what? David De Gea? I loved fucking David De Gea. Was it wrong to kick him out? Club legend? Yes, it fucking was. Did we get something better? No, we didn't. But that's my fucking opinion, isn't it? So, bro, have a conversation with me, but don't come here and try to clip me that I put my hand down, I'm wrong. Man, if I'm wrong, I fucking put my hand up to say I'm wrong. It's not that. We have a fucking balanced approach. Fuck that shit. Sorry. Sim, I love you, but you rounded me up here. Just because Sir Jim is in. Does it fucking matter, mate? Oh, God.
I think he's winding
you up. Take over. I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, no, I think, look, everyone's got an opinion on this. Emotions are high, but we are with, it is what it is. And I think, like I've said, the best thing to do now is let Sir Jim do his press conference.
Yeah, but try to sit here and do over 200, 300 fucking podcasts about this shit and try to press record. Do all the fucking research. Of course. Yeah. If you're a fucking Glazer supporter, then fucking be a fucking Glazer supporter. But I'm not fucking a Glazer supporter. I would never fucking support 25%. But if this gonna give us to a fucking winning titles again, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna support that. But I'm never fucking gonna forget who fucking sits there in the driving seats there and look at that fucking banner up there. Glazers fucking out. So don't you fucking dare to come in and say to clip me, mate. Fuck off.
Yeah, look, I think emotions are high, and I think, look, it's all the main thing is what as fans as we've always wanted is to have somebody else in control of footballing matters, which we have.
Like yeah, but what fucking come and blame me for?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you coming and blaming me? Fucking blame yourself for fucking believing. Fuck off. Fucking bullshit, man. Moderators, get the fuck out of here. Fucking hell, I lost my plot.
Yeah, so guys, I think I'm left here now with you. I think Mick's got emotional there, so I've never. But I think one of the key aspects is to look at what's going to happen next, and look at the summer window, and then hopefully it'll be a positive from there. And otherwise, yeah, subscribe to Mick's channel, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for watching.
No,
Mick's back. Mick, I cut it off. Then I thought I was rounding it off.
No, yeah, and you never see me getting emotional and angry, but when you call me out, you know, that's not on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's just winding.
What I'm trying to say here, and what I've been doing from the beginning of the start of this channel, is to unify the fan base. Nothing else. I'm tired of being divided. We are wearing the same shirt, no matter where you live in the world. Football is all about opinions. But to come here to say, yeah, raise your hand because you were wrong. What the fuck? You know, if I have a wrong score prediction, would I go say, hey, sorry, mate, I had 5-0 to United, but it was 1-0. It doesn't work like that. The world doesn't work like that. And I'm tired of fans coming here trying on Twitter and everyone, like, you know, trying to clip each other. What for? What for, Bilal? You know, yeah, are we grown-ups or are we children?
Absolutely. Look, I just think he's winding you up. Ignore him. Ignore him, Mick. Let's finish on.
Yeah, but you know, I'm tired. I'm tired. And I said, it's been 15 months of doing podcast after podcast. And it's coming to an acceptance that, yeah, what we discussed. Is this going to win us titles? Yes, it will.
Yeah, there's more of a chance of this winning us titles than before. Fact.
Yeah.
And let's stay positive. Let's stay united. Let's move forward. And let's win the next title.
The only thing is that I'm going to apologize is for my swear words and my outbursts. And that's the only thing that I'm going to apologize for. Sorry for everyone that saw me this way. You don't see me wind up that often, but that's what I can apologize for. But I will never apologize for having my opinion, my views, and having guests like Bilal and sharing opinions, because that's what football is, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's been a good show today, Mick.
Yeah. Listen, I ain't going to talk about transfers. It ain't pointless at the moment. Let's get to the summer. Right?
Absolutely.
Bilal, any final words from your end? Any positive vibes from you?
Yeah, look, I think it's more positive than it's been in the last 10, 15 years. And like for the 15th time, I think I'm saying this. Let's see what they've got to say. Let's see what direction they're moving. And I would just like to give a quick plug to my own channel, Full-Time Reds. Please go and check it out, guys. We did a fantastic show on Monday with Coach Rafaz, where we tried to present an alternative view, a tactical view on where Man United are going wrong. So please do go and check that out.
Yeah, please go check Bilal at Full-Time Reds, 100%. Bilal, we also did I haven't had the time. We had a brilliant guest on Monday, Phil Marsh, ex-United player, 2 hours long. I mean, we just were sitting there and he was pouring his heart out, you know, how he met Roy Keane, how he played with Roy Keane, how he met Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, how he had the accident and Sir Alex came to his hospital. Mate, go check it out. Definitely. It was out aired on Monday. And I haven't had time because there's so many good bits you can actually make into 30 minutes videos. And I've been so busy. And this fucking shit hit us yesterday. Similar like on Christmas Eve. Didn't have a fucking Christmas Eve. The announcement came and there we are, right?
I think it's going to be like this week on week now. It's just going to be constant changes.
Yeah. Producer Mark is saying, even I'm a contentious guy, but all the remember we love United. We all Reds, 100%. Glory, glory, Manchester United. True that. True that.
Absolutely.
Sim, forgive me if I went hard on you. Didn't mean it that way. You're always welcome, man, but you round me up basically on the wrong time. It's a very emotional state of affairs, especially if you've been supporting this club for 51 years. And, you know, when your grandfather told you all the stories about, you know, Busby Babes, he was there on the ground in Belgrade watching Red Star. Same the Munich disaster. He was there to watch, and it's been going from generations to generations. So I love my fucking club, you know.
Absolutely.
The first thing that I said was not mom and dad; it was United, for fuck's sake.
United.
Guys, it's been brilliant. Lilies, like this video. Kaisi Bratte. Lilies, you look. Oh, cool. Yeah, Lilies shared he was a goalkeeper. Like, you know, he was a top goalkeeper in Macedonia, right?
Wow.
He tried out for United as well. So yeah, we have a brilliant community, guys. If you do watch this, do apologize for my outburst at the end. It never happens. Sometimes it does, but I call passion. Bilal, also apologize to you viewers what they heard and see. Sometimes you watch football and you can hear like the full, like the when we played at Luton.
Oh yes, you could hear him.
Rashford, you fucking wanker.
Yeah. It's a small stadium, though. I do get it. You get it.
Yeah. Will, I keep getting gifted memberships when I don't watch anymore after being kicked out of the Telegram chat. Oh, Will, sorry, mate. DM me, mate. Will, my apologies to you too. It was a bad time. Will, I love you back. So no worries, man. Text me. Feeling please. Hello all. I'm here for you. Yeah. Will, I apologize to you as well. Put my hand up to that. Hello, Feelings Police. Were you coming too late, Feelings Police? This has been a great emotional chat. And what can I say? Moving forward, Fulham. You think we're going to win?
What, as in against Fulham?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
5 in a bounce.
Yeah, I think so. We've got Forest after that, which we should win, and then we've got City. If we get a draw at City, I think we've got a good run as well. So yeah, I think we should beat Fulham, no problem. They've got Polinia missing as well.
Yeah, they do. But we have Luke Shaw fucking missing.
Yeah, but he fucking didn't make a difference anyway. Did you see him against Luton? I know we're gonna try every aerial ball. He just let his guy head the ball.
Yeah, but he was guilty for their goal as well. I mean, for letting that in. If you look at it, you know,
he's a good left back, but he's not United level. You need your top level left back. You know, I know. When I shouldn't say this, but if you look at Andy Robinson at Newcastle and at Liverpool, he's a top left back. You know, you need players that are going to constantly play 80-90% of the games, not somebody that plays 4 or 5 games and he's fucking injured for 6 months.
Yeah. We got one of Jarvis just sent through our group chat as well on WhatsApp there about Luke Shaw. 3 months later. See you later. That's the season out.
Yeah,
positive news we got. Yeah. Positive news for Lisandro Martinez. It's healing quicker than it is. So potentially
I said on your show that he'll be back after the international break. So he was only technically out for 6 weeks, not 8. And he should be back after the City game.
Yep. Cool. Another PL double, hopefully coming against Fulham, 4th of the season. Yeah, let's hope so. Listen, I have no expectations personally. I would just say that treat every game as is a cup final, like Ten Hag is saying. It is quite amazing that we have 4 in a bounce. Like, you know, if you look at it, nobody expected that. And we are playing home at Old Theatre Dreams, so I believe that we're going to smash them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. But we have preseason Pirlo in there as well. You know what I mean? Andreas Pereira. Yeah, always seems to find his shooting boots against us.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Just they've got Pereira. We've got our own version of Drogba, McTominay. So don't worry about it, Mick.
Yeah. Tuchel. Yeah, I did a report regarding that. Number 1 MILF hunter. I love that. Jesus Christ. Tuchel gone end of the season. He be linked. No, I don't want Tuchel in United. Get out of here. Don't want him. Do you?
I'm a fan of Tuchel, but yeah, I don't think he's a United manager. I would be surprised if we ended up with a manager that nobody thinks of.
But did you hear that Bayern Munich breaking news? They want to take the next best thing, right? The best thing currently in the Bundesliga, but they always do. They're hoovering up everything. They're like a vacuum cleaner. They want to take Xabi Alonso now.
Bayern should take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah. We did a video regarding that.
Bayern, no doubt about it.
But do you reckon Ole could succeed under this new structure?
Yeah.
Do you reckon? I mean, if he came back to United,
100%.
Do you reckon he could?
Mick, I never once went into a game under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thought we were going to get smashed. Every game we played under him, we were always in the game. Right?
Wait. So you're saying, hang on, it's interesting. So you're saying if we get the right structure in, we do everything right, we get a sporting director, we get everything else, and you bring back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's going to win you a title?
I don't know if he'll win a title, but I think he'll do a lot better than what he did before. And I think just to give an example of that, if you look at Man City when Mancini went, they brought Pellegrini in. And Pellegrini really wasn't a top-end manager, and they won the league with him. I think Solskjaer under the right structure would kill it. Yeah, Didier Drogba, he's Drogba Mark too.
Yeah. How can you not? I mean, how can you not win that league? Listen, if Bayern loses that league, they won the league since 2011 consecutive.
That's right. Klopp won it last with Dortmund.
Right. So that's easy. Tuchel know what people are saying. Fulham is one win in Prem all season, first day of the season at Everton. Wow. They're not great away, not at all. Wow.
But you got to remember the type of team they are as well. You know, they're a mid-table team. They're like Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
They're not exactly like pushing for Europe. They're just happy to be like 10th.
Yeah. So, shit, what a stream. I'm emotional the day after. It's like a match reaction, right?
Yeah.
Compost, what are you saying? How can you not win the league easy with that Bayern team? Yeah, that's the thing, right? You have assembled a good squad. You have Harry Kane. And I had basically Jacques Talbot yesterday.
Mick, just to add to that point, they've got a lot of shit players. And they've got a lot of players that are not very good. Hence why they're struggling this season. Upamecano, he's cost them a lot. You know, a lot of they've just, and if you watch them, if anybody's watched them, and they don't give Kane the ball. They hardly. It's like watching Man United. They don't service him. They hardly give him the ball. He'd actually score way more goals if they actually could feed him the ball.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, they've been a mess. I mean, for being Bayern standards under Tuchel, they've been absolutely diabolical. Why did they get rid of Nagelsmann in the first place? I don't understand. You know.
The problem with Nagelsmann was this. Firstly, his age. He was a lot younger than some of the senior players there. Number two, he's a bit of a maverick. Like, he would turn up to training on a skateboard and stuff, you know. And thirdly, he just couldn't manage the bigger players. And he struggled with that element, hence why he lost them. And in the end, he lost his job. And looking back at it, he was a better option than Tuchel.
Well, I don't certainly want him, but the thing is, I want to see what happens in the summer. Like, you know, I cannot get stressed more how excited I will be in the summer. You know, it feels like it's Christmas and we've been giving a fresh page, or, you know, I want to see what's happening in the summer, because I believe it's going to be a mad summer. A lot of people out and a lot of people in, and a new structure. And that's what I want to see. 4 away from 50 likes. Come on, get that likes up, please. Both for both channels, if you whatever you're watching. I don't think this is the last stream for today. We're not going to go live. It's Champions League tonight. Arsenal is playing away. Porto. My friend just called me up. He's a big gooner. He goes, do you reckon we can win over there? It's like, are you playing away? Porto? No.
Yeah. Dutch Portuguese teams are quite difficult to play against, but they've got a good team.
Hey, what happened to Nagelsmann, by the way? He's available.
Nagelsmann is available. He's with Germany until the summer. He's only
with German national team.
That's right. He's just for the tournament, and then he's a free man. I don't know about Nagelsmann. I think if he struggled at Bayern, he'd struggle at United as well. There's a lot of players here that I wouldn't really respect him and stuff.
Okay, cheers from Ich aus Deutschkurs. Ja, viel Spaß. Producer Mark is going into a German lesson. He's actually from Trinidad and Tobago, and he's learning German. That's funny. I'm making fun of him. Yeah, man. Anyway, peeps, it's time to close the shop. Just want to say thank you, Bilal, as per usual. Always enjoy our interactions. And it was pretty much about everything and anything today, wasn't it? Like, more Absolutely. Of fan feelings. And yeah, we saw boxing matches. We saw me getting upset. Very unusual. So not gonna. What do you reckon? Champions League today, Arsenal gonna bottle it, win it?
Well, I think Arsenal should win, and I think Barca will struggle against Napoli.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Napoli, they've just sacked their manager, or they're about to sack him, so it could have a new manager bounce. But yeah, I think that I know we're going off on them, but the fucking Champions League, since they got rid of the away goal, it just killed the ties, and hence why they're bringing this new format in.
Oh, Liverpool is playing Luton tonight, right?
Luton, right? Yeah, the Liverpool are at home.
Oh, shit! I think I want to watch that one.
Yeah,
I want to see Luton smash them.
Yeah, I think I think the Champions League, the reason they're bringing a new format in these last 16 games are shit, especially without the away goal. I watched that Inter Milan game yesterday. It was fucking a dead rubber. That
it was a dead rubber. Yeah,
it was terrible. So hence why they're bringing a new format in from next year, I think, or the year after. I think, and it needs it.
Just got an invitation. I cannot stop laughing. Funny. I'm not going to read this out. I'm married. Thank you for the invitation. Sorry. Right. Well, the thing is, I was watching Champions League yesterday. I was watching Dortmund, right? And PSV. And it was a fucking penalty. And straight after that, boom, Glazers released a statement. You know what I mean? It was in the middle of the penalty.
It was such a bad set. Even last week's games were bad, and this week's game, they're just not very good.
But even Christmas Eve statement, what the fuck? Everyone is on holidays. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Right. Big up, 1 hour, and the game is over. 90 minutes, almost full. We went extra time, 30 minutes, Bilal. You want to close the shop? Please feel free.
Guys, you know what? Mick's got a fab community. You guys are doing an amazing job. I think it's important we stay united. We all stay together. Let's move forward positively, and let's keep creating great content.
Yeah, and stop being like this. It is time to move on, and we should see it in the next video. Thanks, guys, and yeah, see you till next time.
Thank you.
Bye for now. Cheers. Jesus Christ.